We'll get started in a comfortable seated posture. So if you'd like to join me finding the seat of your choice, that could be with legs crossed or extended, totally up to you. Find what feels good for your knees. And then simply rest your hands on your legs. So that can be on the knees, in the lap, whatever feels good. And when you're ready, gently draw your eyes closed. We'll take the next couple of moments to allow ourselves to arrive here and now. So notice where your mind is at right now. Where does it feel like your awareness is? Is the awareness external from you? The awareness in the mind, or is the awareness beginning to shift towards the body? Just become aware. Try to notice what you're thinking about, where your mind is. Once you have a hold of where the awareness is currently placed, can you begin to direct your mind's eye, your inner awareness, towards feeling your breath in the body? Can you begin to feel the inhales and exhales rush in and out? And just notice how the mind feels when you direct it towards a task like this. The awareness shifts towards the body as you feel the breath within. And as we begin to place the feeling of the breath in the body as our primary task in the mind, in the background, begin to build your body around the breath. So sit up nice and tall, making space for the breath within. Take a couple moments and feel the breath with a nice long spine and crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Soften the body around the breath by relaxing the face and the jaw, softening the shoulders down the body and relaxing the legs towards the ground. Again, continue to feel the breath. And notice that as we're here feeling the inhales and the exhales within, the mind will wander. Something else will come to the forefront of our attention, whether it's an external noise or distraction or internal thought process, the mind will wander. When that happens, simply come back to feeling the breath. Let's take a couple big breaths here, just noticing the feeling of the breath in the body and trying to keep that at the forefront of the awareness. Once you feel steady with feeling the breath, gently begin to peel your eyes open. Once you do so, find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. So take your time, only move when you're ready. When the eyes are open, can you continue to try to keep the feeling of the breath within as a primary focus in the mind? Again, whenever the mind wanders, we simply shift back to feeling the breath. Let go of any judgment. Be compassionate to yourself. And take a couple more big breaths. Again, if the eyes are still closed, maybe you begin to peel them open. Ground yourself in the inhales and exhales, allowing yourself to truly arrive in your body for your practice today. Once you're ready to move, on an inhale, straighten your legs out in front of you. If you need to kind of bob the knees up and down, feel free to do so. We'll start with a nice, gentle forward fold. So press those knees towards the ground, pull the toes back towards you. If you haven't exhaled yet, exhale. Inhale, sit up super tall. And then on your exhale, begin to walk your hands down towards the feet by the sides of your legs. Once you feel like you've gotten to a point where you get a nice stretch, pause there. And on your next inhale, see if you can draw your heart forward. So lengthen the back body, pulling the chest towards the toes. You'll feel a nice elongating stretch. Maybe you stay where you're at or lower down a little bit, dropping the elbows on an exhale. Pause for a couple moments. The legs are active, so press those knees towards the ground. Continue to pull the toes back towards you, and think as though you're trying to draw the rib cage towards the thighs rather than fingertips towards the toes. Let's take about 2 more big breaths here. Can you feel the breath on the back body? Again, keep your primary awareness on feeling the breath within. 1 more big breath. Beautiful. Inhale, walk your hands back up towards you until you're seated. Exhale once you get there. Inhale, Janu Shavasana. So bring that right foot in towards you, outside edge of the right foot in alignment with the inside edge of your left thigh. Sit up super tall, middle of the chest points towards the big toe, and then exhale, walk those hands back down alongside to your left leg. Inhale, draw the heart forward, lengthen the back body. Exhale, maybe the elbows drop down and you fold a little bit deeper. Keep pressing that left knee down, toes pull back towards you, and then press that right knee of the bent leg down towards the ground as well. Try to keep the shoulders parallel towards the ground beneath you. So if you notice that right shoulder lifted, try to square them off. You'll get a nice stretch in the right side body as you do so. Where do you feel a stretch? Just let yourself be within. Take 1 more big breath on this side. On your next inhale, walk the hands back up towards you. Exhale, straighten the right leg out. Same thing other side. So inhale, left foot comes in towards you, outside edge of the foot in alignment with the inside edge of the thighs. Sit up super tall. Shift so the center of the chest points towards the big toe, and exhale, lower yourself on down. Inhale, find that little lift up, pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold towards that right leg. Knee presses down, toes pull back towards you. Left knee presses towards the ground as well. Notice where you feel the stretch. Try to drop that left shoulder towards the ground. When you do that, again, you'll feel that really good opening in that left side body. Breathe through the spine, through where you feel the stretch for a couple more big breaths. And again, be active with where your awareness lies right now. Try to stay in the present moment by feeling the body, by feeling the breath. Let everything else go. 1 more big breath here. On your next inhale, walk the hands back up towards you. Exhale, straighten that leg out. Got 2 more seated stretches for you. So inhale, Badakanasana. So you're going to bring the insides of the feet to touch, knees splay outward. Let's go for a gentle Badakanasana. In other words, try not to bring the ankles really close to you. Keep them somewhere out in front of you. So on your next inhale, sit up super tall. And then exhale, trying to keep the back as tall as possible. Hinge from the hips and just begin to lower the heart forward. So you may lower just a tad. You may lower far down towards the feet, but find where this works for you. If the knees are up off the ground, that's okay. Really try to keep the heart lifted and hinge from the hips, okay? So back is long rather than rounded and reaching. Couple more big breaths here. Relax your jaw, breathe deeply, and continue to shine or pull the chest, the heart forward. Nice long back body. Breathe through the spine. 1 more big breath. Great job. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale once you get to seated. And then inhale from here, we're going to go out to a wide-legged forward fold. So extend those legs out now. So unbend those knees, feet come out towards the sides. You can, again, choose how wide the legs are extended. But once you get here, look at your big toes. What we want to do essentially is pull the pinky toe side of the foot out behind us. So in other words, the insides of the thighs are externally rotating towards the wall behind you. Sit up super, super tall, inhale, and then exhale, just begin to walk the hands down. Once you start feeling that nice stretch on those inner thighs, pause. On your next inhale, maybe you draw the heart forward more. That'll exaggerate the stretch. Exhale, maybe those elbows just begin to lower again. This is a deep stretch. We're just going to keep it moderate though. Don't push yourself. We're just warming up the body. So go to a gentle variation where you just feel that mild stretch within. Keep pressing the knees down and pulling the big toes towards the wall behind you. So again, we're externally rotating those inner thighs. 2 more big breaths here. Relax your jaw, soften those shoulders. 1 more big breath. Inhale, walk those hands back up towards you. Exhale, close those legs and swing them all behind you. Make your way to tabletop position, hands and knees. Inhale once you get there, and then exhale, downward facing dog. So toes curl under, lift the knees up and press it on back, down dog. Take some time here, pedal out the feet, still continue to work into the backs of the legs. So adding a dynamic movement will help warm up the body a bit. So bend the knees, move it out, and continue to breathe deeply through the body. Take a couple more big breaths, just moving organically in this downward facing dog, allowing the head to get used to being below the hips and opening up the backs of the legs. One more big breath here. And then on your next inhale, begin to tippy-toe or walk the feet all the way up to the hands. Whenever you make it to the top of your mat, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, and then exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale, bend the knees, and as slow as you can, roll up, stacking one vertebra at a time. Come all the way up to standing. When you get to the top, exhale, roll the shoulders down the back body. Great job. Let's go through some sun A's. Inhale, hands reach out and around, palms touch. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, plank pose. Lower the knees, then the chest and the chin. So booty will be up towards the sky. Inhale, pull the heart forward, lift it up, low cobra. Exhale, press it on back, downward facing dog. So curl the toes under, press those hips on back, down dog. If you still want to add movement, feel free to do so. If you're ready for your stagnant downward facing dog, really press the hands into the mat. Lift the forearms up away from the ground, shoulder blades pulled down the back body and spread wide so the inner upper arms are rotating out away from the ears. Drive the heels down, press the knees and thighs towards the wall behind you like you want to make a print of your booty on the wall. Low belly pulls in and up. 2 more big breaths. Breathe to the pelvis, to the low belly. 1 more breath. On your next inhale, either walk or take a big step up to bring those feet up between the hands, and then rise up halfway. Pull the heart forward. Exhale, bow to the feet. Inhale all the way up to standing flat back. Now soft bend in the knees. Come all the way up. Hands sweep out and around as you rise, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center, down by the sides. Great job. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, fold down to the feet. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. This time, exhale and only step your left foot back behind you. Set the knee down, uncurl the toes. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, rise up, palms touch. Exhale, interlace the fingertips, hands come to the top of that right thigh, okay? So we're in a low lunge right now. We're gonna begin to work this low lunge. So start by pressing down through that front right heel. Imagine like you want to jam it down through the ground. That's gonna instantly make the muscles in your right leg work. Imagine like you want to pull that right hip back behind you and then press that left hip forward. So you're pressing that left knee down and trying to drag it forward. It's not going to move, but we're just igniting the muscles within. So legs are strong and working right now. Low belly pulls in and up. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Shoulders relax down the back body. The body should feel very, very strong and working at this point. Relax your jaw. Let's take 2 more big breaths. Maybe you stare at a place in the ground in front of you. 1 more big breath. Beautiful job. Inhale, hands reach out and around, palms touch. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Step that front foot back behind you, knee on the ground. You can either keep the knees on the ground or inhale, lift them up, plank pose. Exhale, lower yourself towards the mat. Inhale, maybe it's still low cobra, maybe up dog now, straightening the arms. Exhale, curl the toes under, press it on back, downward facing dog. All right, we'll be here for about 5 big breaths. Make this an active posture. So again, we're pressing through the hands, lifting the forearms up away from the ground and driving the heels towards the mat. Couple more big breaths. Maybe you look towards the toes, the lower legs, or the knees. 1 more big breath here. Breathe deeply. Come back to the body. On your next inhale, step only your left foot up between the hands now. Exhale, drop that back knee down, uncurl the toes. Inhale, hands sweep out and around as you rise, palms touch. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, hands come down to the left thigh now. All right, pause here. Let's begin to work this low lunge. Press down through that left heel. Drag that left hip back. Press that right hip forward. Right knee presses down and drags forward as well. Low belly pulls in and up. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Maybe you find somewhere to gaze out on the ground in front of you. Shoulders relax down the back body. Again, the whole body should be working here. Keep pressing down through that front left heel. Let's take 2 more big breaths. Keep the body engaged and working. One more big breath. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, hands come down, frame that front foot. Curl your back toes under, and on your next inhale, come up to the front of your mat, forward fold, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, hands sweep out and around as you rise, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands through heart center and down by the sides. Beautiful. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, fold down, follow your prayer. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. Exhale, left foot only steps back. Option to keep that knee lifted here for high lunge. So inhale, use the strength of your core, rise on up, high lunge. Hands come up, reaching towards the ceiling, forearms by the ears. So we're gonna find the same activation now that that leg is lifted though. So press down through that front right heel, try to keep the knee over the ankle, sink down into that front knee. Lift if the leg's lifted, back knee up away from the ground. Left hip presses forward, right hip pulls back, low belly pulls in and up. Reach those fingers up, but keep the shoulders pulling down away from the ears. 2 more big breaths here. Again, the body's working. Soften the jaw, 1 more big breath. On your exhale, hands come down, frame the front foot steps back. Maybe you keep the knees lifted, lower yourself towards the mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it on back, down dog. 5 big breaths here. Feel the breath in the body. Use this as your time to reconnect if you've lost the connection within. Breathe deeply. Drive the heels down. Press the knees and thighs towards the wall behind you. Couple more big breaths. Feel the breath within. Feel the body. 1 more breath. Inhale, step your left foot up between the hands, high lunge this side, so find your balance, rise on up, hands sweep up towards the ceiling. Again, we're gonna work this pose on this side, so sink down into that left knee, drive that left heel towards the ground. Left hip pulls back, right hip presses forward, so the hips are parallel to the short edge of your mat. Back knee lifts up away towards the ceiling above you. Low belly pulls in and up, shoulders relax down away from the ears, fingertips reach up. Find somewhere to look in front of you, relax your jaw. A couple more big breaths, you got it, you're doing great. Let's take 2 more full breaths. 1 more, you got it. On your exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Inhale, step up to the front of your mat. Right foot meets the left, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale all the way up to standing, hands sweep out and around as you rise, palms touch to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center, pause at heart center and draw the eyes closed. Feel the body. Let's take a moment to pause right here and now. Maybe you feel the elevated heart rate in the chest. If you notice a panting like nature to your breath, can you even out the inhales, the exhales? Just let yourself feel the body to be here and now. One more big breath. Once you're ready on an inhale, gently draw the eyes open and allow the hands to come down by your sides. Exhale. Inhale, step the feet out to hips distance. All 10 toes are gonna point forward. Shift your weight over toward the left-hand side so that right foot gets light. Maybe you just kind of sway that right foot in the air, finding your balance. Look at somewhere on the ground that's not gonna move, so that'll help you with your balance. Option A is to simply just try to lift the toes up off the ground for this posture. Option B is to grab under that right thigh, so beginning to balance. Option C is to grab in front of that right knee and pull it in towards you. So find where this works in your body. You know it works for you, and you can stay connected with the breath rather than focusing on balancing. Find where it works right now. Over time, your balance will improve. We're here to meet ourselves where we are at today. Once you find your posture, pause for a couple big breaths. Breathe deeply, low belly pulls in and up, crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Let's take 1 more big breath here. Good job. On your exhale, stay lifted, but try to step your right foot back all the way to that high lunge again. Hands sweep up. Pause for a breath or two, sink down into that front knee, back knee lifts up away from the ground. We're gonna try to do Warrior 3 pop-ups. So I'm gonna demonstrate, watch me on the screen, then we'll do it all together. So we're essentially going to find an inhale to see if we can pop up, balance for a moment, and controlled on the exhale, maybe lower back down to our high lunge, okay? We're gonna do 3 on this side, so when you're ready, on your next inhale, find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. Can you pop up, balance, and exhale, slowly lower back down to your high lunge. Do 2 more, you can follow your own breath, inhaling to pop up, exhaling to lower. 1 more, inhale, pop it on up. Exhale, high lunge. Good job. On your next inhale, step your back foot up to meet the front. Keep that left knee bent. Chair pose. So sink the booty back, knees press back behind you, low belly pulls in and up. Let's take 3 more big breaths. Breathe deeply, tailbone points towards the back edge of your mat. 1 more big breath. Beautiful. Exhale, hands come down, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. Exhale, step the feet on back, plank pose, lower yourself towards the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. 1 big breath in your downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, either step or hop the feet up between the hands. Rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, and exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale all the way up to standing, hands sweep out and around, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center, down by the sides. Good job, everyone. We're gonna do that same flow on the other side. So when you're ready, feet hips distance, all 10 toes point forward. This time, shift your weight toward that right-hand side. Let that left foot get light. Look at somewhere on the ground that's not gonna move. From here, maybe the toes just begin to lift up off the ground. Maybe you hold under your left thigh or in front of that left knee. Find what works for you here today. Breathe deeply and know that the different sides of the body may differ in your ability to balance, and that's okay. Just meet yourself where you're at today. Pause for a couple big breaths. Breathe deeply. Let's take 2 more breaths. Relax the jaw, soften the shoulders. 1 more breath. You got it. All right, stay balanced. On your next exhale, can you step that left foot back to that high lunge? So bring it all the way back behind you. Sink down into that front right knee. And once you're ready, hands sweep up towards the ceiling. Pause in the high lunge just for a couple moments, establishing your posture and your balance. Let's take 1 more big breath here. Okay, let's do those Warrior 3 pop-ups. When you're ready, on your next inhale, can you pop it on up? Maybe you balance. Exhale, lower back down. Follow your own breath. You don't have to go with me. Inhale, pop it up. Exhale, lower. Good job. 1 more time. Inhale, pop it up. Exhale, high lunge. Good job. Inhale, reach those hands up. Exhale, chair pose. So left foot steps up. Sink the booty back. Knees stay stacked over the ankles. 3 big breaths in chair pose. Tailbone points towards the back edge of your mat. Shoulders relax down the back body. 1 more big breath. On your exhale, fold forward, straighten the legs. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. Exhale, step it on back, plank pose. Lower down, Badakanasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, 1 big breath once you get to your downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, either hop or step the feet up between the hands. Rise up halfway when you get to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale all the way up to standing. Sweep your hands out and around as you rise, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause at heart center, close the eyes. Take a big breath or 2 with the eyes closed, simply being, simply feeling the body. Show yourself some love for what your body can do today. 1 more big breath. Once you're ready, gently draw the eyes open and allow the hands to come back by the sides. All right, we're gonna try Warrior 3 pose in its entirety. So if you need space, you can step on back to the middle of your mat. But same concept, feet are hips distance, all 10 toes point towards the front edge of your mat. We're gonna start by balancing on the right leg. So shift your way over toward that right hand side again till that left foot gets light. So warrior 3 is what we were just popping up into. It's the balancing on one leg pose. So let's start by bringing the palms to heart center with the arms extended. It's a little bit more advanced of a version, so we may build up to that if that's calling your name today. So to start, just kind of lift those left toes behind you. Find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. So we're essentially just engaging that left glute muscle. From here, maybe you begin to draw the heart towards the ground and pivot around the hips. Just like in our forward folds, we're folding from the hip point. So maybe you just play around with that motion. Maybe you bring the body to be parallel with the ground beneath you. As you're here, notice if that left hip's opening up to the sky. Can you press the left hip or roll the outside of that right thigh towards the mat to keep the hips parallel? Low belly pulls in and up. Lift those, point those toes towards the back of the room. If you want to go to another version, maybe airplane arms, hands come by the sides. Maybe the hands reach out in front of you. Pause for a couple of big breaths. Find where this works in your body. Breathe deeply, you got it. One more big breath. On your next inhale, slowly come on back up to standing, feet hips distance. Good job. Exhale once you get there. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, and exhale, fold. We're just going to hang heavy in a forward fold for a couple breaths before we approach the other side. So your choice, hands can dangle in the air. You can wrap them around opposite elbows. You can even hold on to the ankles or the feet. Breathe deeply. You can play around with how deep or shallow you bend the legs. Maybe you even sway side to side. Relax the crown of the head towards the ground completely so the back of the neck is loose, soft, and open. Come back to your breath. Notice where your mind is at. Establish that inner awareness on feeling the breath, on feeling the body. Let's take 2 more big breaths here. 1 more breath. If your arms are bound, release them down. And on your next inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, pause here to exhale fully. On your next inhale, bend the knees and slowly ripple on up, stacking 1 vertebra at a time. Head and shoulders are the last to rise. Whenever you get to the top, exhale, roll the shoulders down the back body. Beautiful job. Let's try the other side. So again, feet are hips distance. All 10 toes point forward. Shift the weight toward the left-hand side. Now right foot gets light. Look at somewhere on the ground that's not going to move, and hands come together at heart center. Once you're ready, maybe you simply work on tapping the toes out behind you, engaging that right glute muscle. If you want to move a little bit further, then you'll begin to hinge at the hip points. So heart draws towards the ground, and maybe you just stop at an area where you can keep those toes on the mat. Maybe you work on making the body parallel to the ground. Outer right hip draws down towards the mat beneath you, squaring off the hips. Low belly pulls in and up. Toes point towards the wall behind you. And again, you can play around with it. Maybe it's airplane arms. Maybe the arms extend out in front of you. Couple more big breaths. Breathe deeply. You got it. Find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. Let's take about 2 more big breaths. 1 more. And once you're ready with control, inhale, come on up, set the foot down. Exhale. Beautiful job. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, fold to the feet. We're going into that forward fold again. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold down. Pause here. Again, play around with the bend in the knees, where you place the hands. Make this just a forward fold that feels good in your body. Wherever you are at, relax the crown of the head completely towards the ground beneath you. Feel the body. Feel the heart rate in the chest, the breath in the torso and the back, and the gentle stretch in the hips and the backs of the legs. Relax the jaw and face. Take a couple more big breaths. And whenever your next inhale arises, gently rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. And this time, exhale, plant the palms, step the feet back behind you, plank pose. Lower yourself all the way to the ground, rest the belly down, stack the palms one on top of another, and maybe you gently place the forehead on the hands. Pause here for a couple of breaths, just allowing yourself to be in your body. So maybe again, you feel the heart rate in the chest. Maybe you feel the breath as the belly presses out towards the ground on the inhales. And on the exhales, the belly rests as the back sinks towards the ground. Let yourself simply rest in your body and feel how you feel. Whenever your next inhale arises, gently lift your head up off the hands and bring the hands under the shoulders. Exhale once you get here. We're going to do a little bit of back bend work with low cobra and up dog. So when you're ready, elbows squeeze in by the sides, tops of the toes press towards the mat beneath you. And on your next inhale, can you peel the heart up off the mat, pressing through the hips. Exhale, lower down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift on up, squeeze the low back. Exhale, lower. Inhale to rise, shine the heart forward, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, lower. All right, this time we're going to lift up and hold. So inhale, lift on up. Once you're lifted, pause for a couple of big breaths. Now notice here that we're not really pressing through the hands as much as we are driving the hips and pelvis towards the ground and just gently using the hands for support to keep us lifted. Couple more big breaths here. Breathe through the body. Let's take one more full breath. On your exhale, slowly lower yourself down. Again, stack the palms. And this time, maybe you rest the right cheek on the hands, stretching out the neck a little bit. And we'll pause here for a couple big breaths. Soften the body towards the ground. And again, let yourself just feel the breath in the body. Notice where the mind is at. Can you let go of any pressing thoughts or things that are coming up? And simply be with your practice, with your body right now. When your next inhale arises, lift the head up off the hands yet again, and then exhale, hands under the shoulders. So we have an option to go to upward facing dog. If low cobra feels good for your back and you just want to stay there, feel free to do so. If you want to begin to work to upward facing dog with me, on your next inhale, you're going to press through the hands and begin to lift up. Now as you do so, maybe you just work on lifting and straightening the arms. Maybe you press through the tops of the feet, lift the knees up off the ground. And notice here, I'm not just allowing my body to sag. My low belly's pulling in and up as I press through the hands. And I'm pausing here, lifted. But again, you can find what works for you. Heart pulls forward. Keep pulling that low belly in and up to reduce any extra stretching in the low back. Shoulders pull away from the front of your mat. Let's take 2 more big breaths here. Keep those knees lifted. Press through the tops of the feet. 1 more big breath. Beautiful. Exhale, slowly lower on down, ripple on down. Stack the palms and rest the left cheek now on your hands. Pause for a couple of big breaths and breathe through the low back. Notice what you're feeling. And only once you feel like your low back is beginning to settle, maybe you bend the knees, lift the feet, and just gently windshield wiper the feet side to side, swaying the lower legs. Stay with the breath in the body. Just notice what you're feeling. And only when you're ready, you can lower those feet back to the ground if they were lifted. Just rest for a moment or two here. On your next inhale, lift the head up off the hands. Exhale, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, tabletop position, hands and knees. And then exhale, bring the knees to touch or close to touching. And then sink the hips back towards the heels. Child's pose with the legs close together. Drape the lower body down over the thighs. Crown of the head either hangs in the air or forehead rests on the mat beneath you. Pause here for a couple of big breaths. Arms can remain out in front of you, or maybe you bring the hands and arms by the sides with the palms facing up. Find what version just suits your body right now and breathe deeply. Can you feel the inhales ripple down the spine to the low back? And the exhales release from the low back up the spine and out the nose. Take a couple more big breaths here. If your arms are by your sides, bring them back out in front of you on the inhale. Exhale once they're there. On your next inhale, walk the hands back up towards you until you're sitting up, propped up on the heels. And then exhale, swing the legs out in front of you. We're going to lay down next. So if you need space, inch yourself forward. Inhale to reach the hands out. And then once you're ready, exhale, lower yourself all the way down. Once you're laying down, inhale, hug the knees in towards you. Wrap your arms around the legs and add a gentle rock side to side. Stay with the breath. If you're rocking side to side, press the low back towards the mat, giving yourself a little low back massage as you rock. Whenever your next exhale arises, slow down the rocks, coming towards stagnant, and then straighten your left leg down towards the ground. Keep that right knee hugging in towards you. Pause here for a couple breaths and just allow the hands to rest effortlessly on that right leg rather than pulling. Soften the shoulders, soften the arms. One more big breath here. On your exhale, drop the right knee across your body. Arms come to a T shape, come into a single-legged twist. So left hand can rest on the outside of that right leg. Maybe you send your gaze over the right hand. Pause here for a couple breaths. Really press that right shoulder blade and right arm towards the ground, resisting their lift. If it is lifting up off the ground, just come out of the twist a bit. Keep the shoulder girdle flush with the ground beneath you. Relax the jaw. Maybe the eyes draw closed at this point. Breathe to the right side body. Just notice what you're feeling. One more big breath. Inhale, gently bring that right knee up to center, and then exhale, straighten it towards the ground beneath you. Same stretch other side, so inhale, left knee hugs in. Once you have it there, pause for a couple moments, continue to breathe. Again, relax the fingertips, soften the shoulders and the arms. Just allow the weight of the hands to gently draw the knee closer towards you. Take another big breath. And on your exhale, left knee comes across the body toward the right hand side. Arms come to a T shape. Maybe right hand rests on the outside of that left leg. And press the left shoulder blade towards the ground. Breathe deeply. Draw that left hip towards the front of your mat, elongating the left side body, and feel the breath along the left side. Relax the jaw. Pause for a couple more breaths. Breathe deeply. Feel the breath within. And on your next inhale, gently bring the knee back up to center, and exhale, straighten the leg towards the ground. So your choice. If there's any other stretches you'd like to take before Shavasana, feel free to do it. If you want to throw in a happy baby, Badakanasana, anything that really feels good for you right now, take the next couple moments, give your body anything else it might need. And only when you're ready for the final resting posture, find a comfy space to lay down and rest for Shavasana, and then we'll eventually meet up there. If you're still flowing, please feel free to take all the time that you need. Only when you're ready, make your way towards Shavasana. If you've made your way to Shavasana, gently draw your eyes closed as you begin to rest your body on the ground beneath you. Invite into your body a soft, relaxed state. Soften the space around and within you. Almost imagine the air that surrounds your body expanding, relaxing. And imagine all the molecules, the particles that make up your being, again, becoming more spacious, expanding, relaxing. Begin to consciously relax the body, starting by softening the crown of the head. Relax your forehead, soften the eyebrows and the eyes. Relax your temples, Soften the cheekbones. Relax the jaw. Soften your lips. Relax the teeth and gently float the tongue down away from the roof of your mouth. Allow the ears to soften. As the back of the head rests on the ground beneath you, relax the scalp. And soften the back of your neck, the sides, the front. Allow the throat to open. Melt the shoulder blades towards the ground beneath you. As you relax the upper arms and the elbows, soften the lower arms and the wrists. Relax the backs of your hands, the palms, as every finger gets a little bit lighter. Soften your chest, the space around your heart. As you relax the rib cage and the belly, allow the back body to completely melt down, softening every vertebra, working down the spine and the back body. Soften the low back, the glutes, the pelvic area. And relax the upper legs and the knees. Soften the lower legs and the ankles. Relax the tops of your feet, the bottoms, and allow every toe to get a little bit softer. Notice if you're holding on anywhere else in your body. Can you completely let go and surrender the weight of your body towards the ground beneath you? Melt the body down. Allow the inner state of relaxation and ease to translate to your mind. Soften the mind as though it's a muscle itself. Let it get light. Let it melt and fade away. For the next couple of moments, simply let yourself be. Enjoy the beautiful state you've cultivated today. And allow your body to soak in the goodness of your practice. Gently begin to invite the awareness back in towards your body. Maybe you take some deep breaths or introduce some wiggles, the toes, the fingers, the wrists and ankles. Only when you feel ready to move, gently roll over to either side and pause there to rest in a fetal position. And take your time. Once you feel ready, gently begin to press yourself all the way up to seated, keeping the eyes softly closed as you move. We'll eventually meet up with the eyes closed and palms touching at heart center. Take a couple of moments to consciously observe how you feel right now. Notice how your mind, how your headspace feels. What word describes the state of your mind? Gently draw your awareness to the body. Observe how it feels. What word describes your body right now? Eventually, shift your awareness to your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel in this moment? Simply notice, observe, let it be. And gently give yourself a smile and really thank yourself for showing up here today, for dedicating your time to your health, your life, your practice and well-being. Thank you so very much for sharing your beautiful energy and practice with me and everybody else who tuned in here today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.